Previously on Bear.island.comics.
That Spiderman Booth. I finally got one of their mystery boxes. Tales of the Teen Titans 59. It's got Disco Nightwing. So I hold in my hand the first appearance of absolutely no one. It is issue 59 of a series I have never touched. This thing should be sitting in a long box in the dark of my basement. It is an orphan of a comic book. And that is exactly why I decided to open it up and read it. The main story is by Marv Wolfman, George Perez, and Len Wein. So we've got that going for us, which is nice. Robin's having a bit of a freak out because he's bouncing between two realities. In reality A, a scientist is held hostage by a terrorist inside Star Labs. In reality B, Robin's late for a Teen Titans meeting inside their precarious-looking T-shaped headquarters. He also doesn't remember any of the squad. They're all just like, "Stop it, you silly goose." There's Wonder Girl, Cyborg, Starfire, Kid Flash, and Beast Boy, who now wants to be called Changeling. Raven shows up as a quest-giving NPC. Apparently some scientist totally biffed and opened a portal, letting in a blob that turns oxygen into methane. Okay, so that's really not good, right? As I've said before, I'm not a man of science, but I am pretty sure oxygen is like the main thing that we breathe, and that makes this a potential extinction event. No offense, but should we maybe call in the Justice League on this one? No one even brings that up. So we're off to Star Labs to fight a blob. Robin can't fly, but he's okay with being carried by Starfire, which quite honestly I'd be fine with too. Check out this Ronald Reagan quip from Beast Boy that looks like it was changed at the last second. Whose name was there before? Was the original letterer not around that day? Anyway, Raven tries a cool Raven move, but she glitches out. The others fail to do any real damage to the blob. Then Cyborg realizes this is the lab of his father, Dr. Silas Stone, with whom he has serious beef, so he straight up quits the mission. That's right, he just tells everyone he's leaving. Hey, Victor, this thing could end humanity as we know it, so cut it out. RoboCop was never like this. What's he up to? Could he help with this? The blob grabs Cyborg, which serves him right if you ask me. Robin has an idea. If they pump the oxygen out of the sealed lab, the blob will get all frustrated and leave. It totally works, but Cyborg harshes everyone's buzz by telling his dad he still hates him for not letting him die in the accident that killed his mom. Robin wakes up back in reality A, where his oxygen-sucking idea also worked on the terrorist. He finds out the scientist they were holding hostage is... What? Cyborg's dad? Mind blown. What is reality? Why is Gamora? And scene. Jokes aside, I really did enjoy this story. Wolfman did a nice job dropping little hints about Robin's two realities, weaving in little similarities that paid off in the end, with an innovative solution that would make Batman proud. On to story number 2. It's time to wage war against drugs. To the Dominican Republic we go. An unconscious youngster is tossed into the water to drown. It's Roy Harper, also known as Speedy. Yes, he's that kid doing drugs on that classic Neil Adams Green Lantern cover. What's he gotten into now? Thankfully, a fish sees all this happening and alerts Aqualad, who happens by just in the nick of time. We can only assume he'll swim Speedy to the nearest hospital for immediate medical treatment. Nope, Aqualad dog-pedaled it all the way to New York. He bursts into Titan's tower with a somehow still unconscious Speedy, who wakes up and proceeds to ask 0 questions about where he is or how he got there. He is all business, informing everyone that he's not only clean, he's actually working with the feds to take down drug cartels. Nobody asks him to elaborate, but Speedy explains his last job took him to the Caribbean, where the trees do not provide very good cover for sneaky archers. Thank goodness he had arrows with boxing gloves on the ends. Those take out an average of 2 bad guys at a time. Speedy claims that he KO'd half the cartel in this manner. But do you know who is still standing? A freaking machete expert. That's right, an expert on machetes. Seems a bit much, but this was the 80s, a time known for its excess. And it's not difficult to imagine drug cartels trying to one-up each other. So okay, fine. A machete expert. Machete guy spots Speedy in the tree and does what no one expected. Throws the machete handle first. What? The blunt object hits Speedy right in the chin. Little man is down for the count, and something tells me he's about to go for a swim. Back in Top Heavy Tower, Starfire wants to know why people do drugs if they're, like, bad and stuff. Speedy actually gives a really great empathetic answer, which gets Cyborg all pumped up to help the cause. He's like, I will help you with this unfinished business you are hinting at. But you know the rest of them are thinking, sure you will, Vic. Right up until your dad shows up and you bail. It takes the gang a couple of pages to smash the cartel with teamwork. One of the highlights for me is when Kid Flash calls Robin short pants because he wears a green Speedo. They all end up back at the tower where Speedy says, it's been real, but just so you know, I'm not like joining your team or anything. I'm really busy with super important other stuff. And the Titans are like, nobody said anything about that. And then Aqualad is like, yeah, sorry, I'm not joining you either. And the Titans are like, why are you guys still here? And then Robin does a fist pump and it's over. So what did we learn from Tales of the Teen Titans 59? Number 1, machetes are most effective when thrown. Number 2, drug cartels have a tendency to underestimate American teenagers, especially those with superpowers or just skills and determination. Number 3, opening up portals, almost always a bad idea. Please just don't. Number 4, towers shaped like a T are in fact structurally sound. Somehow. What do you say we check out some of the ads? There's an Oreo maze that's not filled out. That's like having a Hulk 181 with the Marvel stamp intact, except virtually worthless. If you were around in the 80s, aliens were the main way candy was marketed back then. It was E.T. and this guy. Alright, now this page is amazing. Look at this. Shut off mom or your annoying dad, brother, or sister whenever you want. All you have to do is send $1 to a nameless company in New York and they'll totally send you a pair of earplugs. Hey look, it's Bill Cosby, urging us to send money to the Red Cross. We trust him because he's a doctor. Here's a question you may not have considered. What is ninja? Do you really know? Guess what? Someone in Georgia does. And they'll reveal all the secrets for $5. And they'll sell you throwing stars for another $5. So here's the deal. I'm going to read a bunch of books from the 90s or earlier that are outside of any run that I am familiar with. If they're worthy, if they're interesting in any way, I'll share them with you in this new sort of as yet unnamed series. Next up is going to be a pretty big one. The Amazing Spider-Man number 50, which is the first appearance of one of my favorite villains, the Kingpin. Please sub me up if you are so inclined. And if you are enjoying my content, the biggest favor you can do me is word of mouth. Growth has been a little bit slow, but I am having a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to reach more people if that's possible. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes here. There are so many great channels out here, and this time you chose mine, and that's amazing to me. I hope everyone is loving Avengers Endgame. I can't wait to see it Saturday night. And I hope we all survive the Battle of Winterfell on Sunday. Valar Morghulis, everyone.